Oh, lovely to have you here, Julie. It's really a great opportunity to show you what the Wairau Nature Network map looks like. The focus of the Wairau Nature Network is to help build up a conservation corridor across the Wairau. So what we're trying to visualize here is that there's a lot of great work going on, a lot of planting effort out there by landowners. And we're trying to build up a mosaic of what that looks like so we can see the opportunities of where to connect them up.
When you first load the map, you will see the black outline delineating the Wairau Nature Network project area. Select the aerial base map to help you navigate if you wish. We have many different layers that are available in the Layers menu on the right-hand side. You can see that we have the Dock Public Conservation Land already turned on. We can make this semi-transparent by just toggling the rain slider back and forth. We also have restoration projects, which we can see here. And this is where we really need your help to locate all of the restoration activity and projects that are happening in the Wairau catchment. We have a bunch of tools that you can use on the right-hand side here. You can zoom to any location on the map. Click this button and it will copy the link to that exact place. If you are rotating the map using your right click on your mouse and you need to reset the view, simply hit this reset view button and it will snap it back into the default view. You can measure areas. You can measure distances. And you can also measure elevation profiles. For example, if we click here, you can see and it gives us a nice elevation profile across that line. You can also take screenshots directly in the app. This will allow you to change the dimensions of your screenshots. And the little button down here that says capture will immediately take a screenshot of it that you can download and print. You can also tilt the map into 2D or 3D, which will allow you to look at the world in 3 dimensions. We also have this mini map, which you can close and open at the bottom. And that tells you exactly where you are in the world.
So those measure tools, they would be really good for, say, getting an idea for the conductivity between patches and restoration projects in terms of the flight of, say, a keriru or a tui?
Yeah, that's a really great question. The measure line tool, for example, could help you measure out the distance between your project and where tui sightings have been seen or keriru sightings have been seen, and to work out the distance between those will help you sort of understand the flight patterns and how far a keriru has to travel to get to your planting. So over time, you can actually start seeing that we're building up a picture of the corridors between projects.
So Rod, what are the orange dots there?
And so we've got a whole lot of community projects happening right across the Wairau, and they represent all of our really established community projects. I'll click on one of these here, the Grovetown Lagoon. And you can see we've got a video recording of the Grovetown Lagoon project and a bunch of other data information about the project, such as the description of what it's about and who's working there, and useful links to the community project website.
And of course, it's not just the community projects that we want to include on this map, it's the private landowners as well, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great work out there as well being done by our landowners. So I'll just take you to one of the example projects here. So this is a whole bunch of planting that's been done out at Haumai. They're doing an amazing effort to restore the surrounding areas around the vineyards. A really key focus on biodiversity. And yeah, it really shows the effort that's being put in and where that connects in with projects around it.
And what about the smaller landowners and lifestyle blocks, gardens even?
Yeah, we've got heaps of landowners out there with small lifestyle blocks that are contributing their information around where they've done planting. So here we've got a really good example of the Raleigh Crescent community planting, where restoration efforts being done on a small holding or lifestyle block. And what you can start seeing is actually that there's this potential to connect these up with surrounding restoration areas, which is super cool. So it really helps show that there's a lot of activity happening out there, especially with the smaller landowners and lifestyle block owners. And all of that effort really helps build up the bigger picture of what could be the future conservation corridor in the Wairau.
Yeah, that's a really good visual, isn't it? There isn't a lot of forest remnant left in this Wairau catchment, so how would someone know what to plant in their area or what would be appropriate to grow?
Yeah, it's a really good one. And difficult because we've lost a lot of habitat in the Wairau, especially the lower plains of the Wairau River. We've done some really good analysis, and we've taken some data from Manaki Whenua around potential vegetation. And what this layer does is paints a picture of the past, of what the land could have looked like and may have looked like before humans settled the area. And what you can actually tell about it is that there's a whole lot of forest and matai and tundra forest that used to border the Wairau River, and huge tracts of wetlands that used to be here. And so this layer, the potential vegetation layer, is really exciting because it not only gives you a feel for where the vegetation would have been, but it gives you a feel as well for the kind of wildlife that it supported, the kinds of birds that used to exist and feed off these trees, and hopefully helps paint a picture of what could be there.
So what would have grown, say, on with the hills? Can we zoom in on that and take a look?
I think this ties back into the shifting baselines philosophy, where the landscape that we adopt as we come into the world is what we assume used to be there. But the Wither Hills is a great example of that, where it's completely barren. It's just hills covered in grass. But what actually used to be there is potentially kahikatea forest, matai, tawa, and mahoe forest, along with beaches in the dry areas. So imagine the Wither Hills today, 200 years ago, or maybe more, it was just covered in forest. It would have still been quite dry, just as the South Bank always is quite dry, but it would have housed an enormous amount of biodiversity and different species of trees.
Wow, that's really something to bring on some inspiration there.
Yeah, really something to aspire to. Right?
Really is. So this is really exciting. How would I go about getting our family restoration plantings put on the map so we can be part of this bigger picture?
Yeah, it's really easy, and the big focus for us is that we're not just throwing data on the map for other people to see. We are trying to co-design this and collaboratively build up a picture of what the Wairau catchment used to look like and where the restoration planting is happening. All you need to do is contact our Wairau Nation Network administrator and just get in touch with her, and she will help you put your planting area on the map so other people can see the great work that you've done, where that connects up with other projects around you.
Amazing, thank you.